Oh, hello, and welcome to another perfectly on-time edition of the Orion Bowl Fantasy NFL show. Completely on time, mostly because I decide when the episodes come out. You know, that's me. I do these whenever the hell I want. I march to the beat of my own drum, as it were. And all this talk in the league about videos coming out on Thursdays and whatever in the past, it's all nonsense. Poppycock. Poppycock is a good word for it. But anyway, I digress. The semi-finals have finished. And it was interesting. Let me tell you that. It was very interesting. Right, so let's dive right in. NFL fantasy football is all coming to a head at the moment. We had the semi-finals last week, and this is for my league. These videos are basically just for the guys in my league. If you want to watch along, then go ahead. I'm not physically going to stop you. No, not physically. I'll stop you kind of mentally with my abrasive personality and an annoying voice. You don't want to stick this out. The semi-finals. So let's talk about Ravens versus Namath. What a game. What an unbelievable game. Look, I went ahead, Josh Allen, he did his thing. I got a good score from T. Higgins because obviously Jamar Chase was out last week, so I put him in. And I didn't understand how the Cincinnati Bengals scored enough points on offense for him to do 20 points, but I'll take it. Because that was in response to Chris Olave trying his best to get a revenge game and getting like a good 14 points was solid. 14 points was solid, but 20 was better. And then, of course, enter the seedy lamb. That seedy, the seediest lamb I've ever seen. Getting in there and just just going for touchdowns like it's just for fun. And I thought, well, that's it, isn't it? It's done. Do you know what I mean? Because I think going into Monday, I think he only needed like 40 odd points to best me. So Isaiah Pacheco went out with a concussion, which was I literally watched it happen. I watched the helmet come off. I watched him take the knee to the head. I was like, get that man in concussion protocol for his good, for his own good, for his safety. Get him out of there. They did. He was done. Step one. And then. Who else was it? Chuba Hubbard did pretty well. Oh, that was annoying. But anyway, it all came down to the last game. The 49ers versus the Ravens. The team with no Namath had Lamar Jackson. I had the Ravens defense. In order for the team with no Namath to win, I needed... Basically, he needed Lamar Jackson to outscore the Ravens defense by 6 points. And he basically did. Almost. I mean, it was the late game, so it was like, you're talking... It was 20 past 3 in the morning, I was still watching it, somewhere in the third quarter. And I was monitoring the scores. I was enjoying it, I really was, because it was a close game. We had really close games. Everything was interesting, fun to watch for the whole of Christmas. Got to this game and I watched Lamar Jackson finally overtake my defense. My defense had put up a great fight. Do you know what I mean? The Ravens D had already gotten 4 interceptions at that point and and a few sacks. And I thought, you know what? I'm calling it here. And I just sent a message to the group. Just said, you know what? Congratulations, team with no name. You did a fantastic job. Like the game is now done, but it was close as hell, and that's all we can ask for in a semi-final. Best of luck in the final. And that was genuine. That was super genuine. I was like, you know what? It's been a fun season. It is what it is. You can't get to the final every year. You know what I mean? As much as I would love to get to the final, you can't be there all the time. And sometimes it's just not going to go your way. C'est la vie. It's fine. Good luck to you. And at least in my head, I was thinking, well, he's beaten me 3 times this season. And I want him to now win it all. Because there's no shame in being beaten by the best, is there? Do you know what I mean? Then all those losses kind of wash away. It's like, well, I lost to the overall champ, guys. Yeah, of course I lost 3 times in the season. He ended up winning it all, don't forget. So yeah, that was that. And so I went to bed 20 past 3 because I was falling asleep. Like, I was trying my best to enjoy it, but I was nodding off. I really was. And then I got a call in the morning, which is what woke me up probably about 11 o'clock in the morning. Because I slept in, didn't set any alarms, had nothing to do. It's Boxing Day. And it's the head coach of the Arizona Tits. He's on the phone. We're discussing a little road trip we were going to go on that date, which we did eventually. It was very nice, very fun. And he said, what don't you sound happier? I said, well, what do you mean? So I thought you'd be happier about the result of the NFL, of the semi-final. I was like, what, the semi-final that I lost? What are you talking about? He's like, oh, did you not win? I was like, no, I watched Lamar Jackson go ahead, and then obviously the Niners are going to score again in that game. There was time left for them to score, so I had no chance. So I called it. He's like, I think you might want to check again, buddy. And he had to check again, because upon checking the score, I ended up with 103.78. And the team with no Namath with 103.58. Basically, Brock Purdy got hit so much that they took him out of the game. Sam Darnold in there. They threw, like, out of desperation on fourth down, and goal to try and get a touchdown. Threw it straight into the arms of one of my defensive players. That was the intercept, and that was all I needed. And that was literally just enough to take me 0.2 of a point ahead of Namath to take the semi-final. Oh, and what a semi-final it was. I haven't done a lot of glide, because honestly, if I was on the receiving end of that, I'd be fuming. But also, it kind of reinforces the power of the concede, doesn't it? The concede has been a very powerful weapon this season. And it only works when you genuinely mean it. Like, I honestly, I thought the game was done. I really did. But yeah. So now the Burtimore Ravens are on to the final. Who are they playing in that final, you ask? Well, the Forbes Niners versus the Coach's Sons was less close. The Niners were ultimately, they were let down by DJ Moore and Addison. They really didn't show up, which left it a kind of easy win for the Coach's Sons. The Coach's Sons are just, they look so good, you cannot slip up against them. They're just too good for that. And then you had the Harlots versus tanking their way into the third pick game. Word is bond. That is going to be for the third pick, so you're in that bracket. The Gorillas, thanks to Picken, had a season high score. So congratulations, in that one. You go to the higher pick bracket, which is, I should really make it much clearer next time. The better picks are in the lower brackets, so it's a tank off in the first. And picking up Russell, like the third string, like tight end in Seattle, was brilliant by the Harlots. That's some good tanking. That is some top. Look, if you want tanking lessons, hit up the Harlots head coach. He'll tell you. He'll tell you. And the team with no Seamus joins the Harlots in the third pick game. Let's look at the finals. That's what we're here for, right? We're all here to try and get into this final. I've never won. I've never won the whole thing. I would like to. But we'll get to that very soon. The Toilet Bowl matchup this year is going to be between the Legion of Hot Toilet, who are the current Toilet Bowl champions, and the Arizona Tits, who are in their debut year. It's their rookie season. They've had a bit of hard luck. So look, also, I need to change the settings. I think you can only do it pre-playoffs, because I now see where the option is. I couldn't find it before because I'm an idiot. And I just couldn't figure out how to change the playoff settings. I'm going to have to figure it out. I'll figure it out over the off season, but basically it hasn't got you in an actual game, but I'm going to keep an eye on your scores. So just put together your best teams. I'm going to keep an eye on both of your scores, and then we'll total them up on Monday or Tuesday or whenever the last game is, and we will declare the winner of that game. The winner avoids the Toilet Bowl and gets first pick of the draft next season. First pick, which is going to mean more, because there is going to be a slight change to the draft next season. We're not doing the snake order anymore. That snake order is bullshit. It makes the first pick kind of irrelevant, because you have you get one pick and then you have 20 picks between you and your next pick. I don't like that. There's a few other people in the league that also don't like that. So as commissioner, I'm making the change. I'm calling it. It's going to be linear. So it'll go 1 to 10 and then it'll reset 1 to 10 again. Because I think that's actually the fairest way to do it. And it works, but it actually makes the first pick mean something. Because currently, first pick is pretty garbage. Because you better make sure it's a good one. Because you don't get, like, by the time your next pick, like, say if you want like the fifth best like wide receiver because you quite like them, they're not coming back round to you. So you better make that your first pick, because they're not coming back to you. 20 picks between you and your next pick. Yeah, ridiculous. So that's happening as of next season. Then you've got the 7th place game for 3rd pick. So the winner gets 3rd pick, loser gets 4th pick. Harlots versus the team with no Shamuth. So, just to go back to the toilet bowl. The loser wins the toilet bowl and gets 2nd pick, just FYI, because it's a double punishment. Because I don't want people to tank to get the toilet bowl, if that makes sense. So they get the 1st pick. Like your reward for winning that game is 1st pick and not getting the toilet bowl trophy. The loser gets the toilet bowl trophy and gets 2nd pick. 3rd pick is the winner of the 7th place game between the Harlots and the team with no Shamuth. So let's take a look at that matchup. Fields versus Jordan Love. I like Fields in that one. Connor versus Eckler. I kind of like Eckler in that one. Barkley versus Williams. I do like Barkley in that one. Tyreek Hill, he's going to beat anybody. So, even Calvin Ridley's done all right this season, though. Brandon Ayuk, he's looked electric lately against DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf's good, isn't he? That's a toss-up, but I'm going to go Metcalf, I think, because he's edging out Lockett as the number 1 wide receiver there. McBride versus Kelsey, you've got to go with Kelsey. Even on the form that the Chiefs are on, you've got to go with Kelsey in that. Chandler versus Cook. I think Chandler in that one. Santos versus Dicker the kicker. Dicker the kicker, you've got to take every time. And then you've got Broncos versus the Commanders. The Commanders D haven't looked good. So, you know what? I do think that the Harlots take that one. On balance, that's the Harlots taking the 3rd pick. They tanked very well to get in there, and it seems to. I think it'll pay off for them because they'll get a lovely 3rd pick. The loser of that game getting 4th pick. 5th pick will go to the winner of the 5th place game. So that is the Dennis Trey Gorillas versus Baby Dropped Dak. So we'll take a look at that one now. We've got Mahomes versus Stafford. I'm going to take Mahomes in that one. He's still very, very good. And he's against Cincinnati. They've not looked brilliant this season. Pollard versus Kamara. I like Kamara there. Pollard's been a little bit disappointing, I'm not going to lie. I thought he'd put up much bigger numbers than he has done. Bijan Robinson versus Breece Hall. I like Breece Hall better as a runner. Robinson's on the better offense. I'm going to go Robinson on that one. Collins versus Kupp. Cooper Kupp is back on fire. They're against the Giants. You've got to go Cooper Kupp in that one. Pickens versus Jefferson. Pickens is just on fire at the moment. Like if he performs anywhere near that he did last week, you've got to go Pickens. But Justin Jefferson's Justin Jefferson, so you've got to go Jefferson, really. Ingram, I'll let you decide what I actually picked in that last one because I don't know either. Then you've got Ingram versus Kittle. Kittle's just the better tight end, I think. So you've got to go with Kittle there. Flowers versus Edwards. Gus the Bus. Gus the Bus all day. I love Gus the Bus. He's been absolutely brilliant. Aubrey versus Tucker. Tucker is the man. You've got to go with Tucker. Chiefs versus Browns. The Browns D have just been absolutely on fire, but they are playing the Jets, so they're going to be on the field a fair amount. All in all, on balance, I think that Baby Got Dak are going to take that one. Baby Got Dak to take that one. Then you've got the consolation game for... What pick is this for again? The 3rd place game. The winner gets 7th pick and the loser gets 8th pick. And that is between the Forbesy Niners and the team with no Namath. So you've got Jalen Hurts versus Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's questionable. I'll take Jalen Hurts in that one. Derrick Henry versus Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs questionable. Keep an eye on that one. But Derrick Henry, you've got to go Derrick Henry, haven't you, really? Najee Harris versus Pacheco. Pacheco's hot garbage. I don't know why you put him in. He's concussed anyway, so take him out. Just take him out immediately. Najee Harris all the way. DJ Moore versus CD Lamb. CD Lamb is the seediest lamb, and he will CD up your chances of winning because he's going to put up monster points. He always does. That's a great wide receiver right there. Really, if I assume that Namath will be keeping CD Lamb. Deebo Samuel versus Chris Olave. Oh, since it's not a revenge game, Chris Olave will not turn up and Deebo Samuel will get the win there. King Komet against TJ Hawkinson. Hawkinson has gone off the boil lately. King Komet is still there, so I'm going with King Komet. Addison versus Hubbard. I thought that you dropped Addison, honestly, but... Oh no, Hubbard's probably going to outscore Addison because Jefferson's there taking the ball away from Addison in effect. Tyler Bass versus Jake Elliott. Jake Elliott had a great week last week, and I see him doing the same again, so I'll go with Elliott there. Jets D versus the Jags D. The Jags D have not looked brilliant, and they're against Carolina, who are somewhat good at moving the ball, but the Jets D against that Cleveland offense, I think they're going to pick off Flacco a fair amount. And I don't think the Jets necessarily win, but I just think the Jets D are going to put up a good score, so I'll go with the Jets D there. I think on balance, I've forgotten kind of who I picked, but on balance, I've got a feeling I picked more of the team with no Namath than I did the 49ers, so I'm going to take the team with no Namath to win that one. And that brings us to the final. The Burtimore Ravens versus the coach's sons. And the first thing I want to do here is Coach Dan of the head coach of the coach's sons. I want you to look into my eyes right now. Look into my eyes. Right? You looking? I concede. And I concede a great many things about this game. I concede that you are the best team in the league. Like, realistically, you are. You know, you're looking at your players, looking at the choices that you've made. I concede that I have no business being there. The Burtimore Ravens should not be in this game, by all rights. We got into the playoffs by the very skin of our teeth against the Harlots. We managed to get into the semi-final by the skin of that tooth against the team with no Namath. 0.2 of a point. We don't really deserve to be in this position. Yes, we have the same record as the coach's sons, but the quality in the teams is completely different. Any team that has Christian McCaffrey is gonna win. Like that's just true. And also, he's playing against Washington. Washington are a terrible defense this season, especially against the run. The fact he's predicted 17 points says it all. You're not beating any team that has Christian McCaffrey. And that's not the only star player that he's got. He's got Mike Evans there as well. Dante Smith. I was going to say Ferguson, but who are we kidding? Gibbs as well. And Baker Mayfield, who is on fire at the moment. So look, I concede that I really don't have much of a chance in this game. But I'm going to go through it anyway. You've got Josh Allen against Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is absolutely on fire. Josh Allen is absolutely fantastic, though. He's playing New England at home. I'm probably going to concede that Allen may put up more points than Baker Mayfield in that one. I concede that point. However, Travis Etienne versus Christian McCaffrey. I concede that not only will McCaffrey outscore Travis Etienne, I think that McCaffrey could easily treble Etienne's score. Treble it. I'm not kidding. I concede that point. Rachaad White versus Gibbs. Gibbs has absolutely been on fire. White has also been looking good. They're at home to New Orleans. This is going to be a closer one. I don't think that Gibbs is going to treble White's score. I concede that. But I do think that Gibbs is going to outscore Rachaad White, so that's another win for the coach's sons. T. Higgins versus Mike Evans. Now, Higgins, if Jamar Chase is out, and it's looking like he might be out, if Jamar Chase plays, I have a feeling I might make a change. You know, just a little one. Just a little change. But if Jamar Chase is out, I'm playing Higgins. So as it stands, Higgins is in. But against Mike Evans. Mike Evans is the favourite target of Baker Mayfield. He's just so good. He gets 100 yards a game minimum. Always goes in for return, especially in a shootout with New Orleans. I concede that Mike Evans is going to get the better score in that one. Michael Pittman Jr. If he comes back from concussion, and he should do, you can only be concussed for 1 week, Michael. Don't push this, all right? Get your ass back in. Get off the pine. Get in there. God damn it, he's a good wide receiver. I need him. Against Smith of the Eagles. Now, yeah, Smith did really well last week. He's got a great game against Arizona, and Pittman Jr. is apparently still concussed. Plus, Las Vegas looked really good last week, so I concede that Smith is probably going to put up more points there than Michael Pittman Jr. And Then you've got Laporta against Ferguson. Ferguson, I don't rate that highly, so watch him go off this week. Laporta, despite being the number one tight end in the league, just looked off last week, and they're against Dallas. That defense is really good against tight ends. And for that reason, I concede that Ferguson is going to get more points in that one. Jonathan Taylor, running against Las Vegas at home against Kyrie Williams. Kyrie Williams? K Williams. I don't know. Let's call him Kevin. Kevin Williams. I think it's Kyrie. I don't know. I should probably look that up. Running against the New York Giants, but they're away. They are away in that one. But the Giants' run defense is woeful. It's a sieve. Honestly, Williams could be running through wet Kleenexes. That's what he's going to be doing. And that's why he's predicted to do 14 points. And that's why I concede that he is going to outscore Jonathan Taylor. McLaughlin, kicker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I decided to get rid of Lutz after his disappointing performance last week. I would say you should pick up Lutz to replace your kicker who is out. Because now that I've dropped Lutz, he's going to go for huge numbers. And you know it. You know it as well. Look, Coach Dan of the Coach's Sons, if I don't see Lutz on your lineup when I'm facing you, I am going to start doubting any credibility that I had for you in a coach, honestly. Get Lutz in your lineup. I might pick him back up to put on my bench just so that you can't, honestly. I'll give you a chance to watch this first, though. I think that's fair. Because I think currently, on balance, McLaughlin will probably outscore a kicker who's out. On balance. I'll be fair. I'll concede that. Then you've got the Ravens D versus the Bears D. The Ravens D against Miami. Miami are very good at putting up points, but the Ravens just finished putting 15 points up against the number one offense in the league. The Bears defense have been fantastic, though, and the Atlanta offense is not as good. So I concede that the Bears surely are going to outscore, because the Ravens can't do those kind of numbers twice in a row, can they? So I concede that the Bears are going to win that. And then all in all, it's time for the big concede. I concede that despite my efforts, despite the fact that I'd love to win, the Coach's Sons, they're just a better team. They're a better franchise. Like the Coach Dan of the Coach's Sons, he has so much knowledge about NFL. He's got twice as much knowledge, 3 times as much knowledge as I do. He listens to all the NFL podcasts. He gets into all that podcast hype. And for that reason, because he is the better coach, because he has the better team, I concede that we will see the Coach's Sons take their second championship this weekend. And I will be left wanting, again, but with some good keepers, to come back and try again next year. So that's all I've got time for this week. So it's a little bit longer because we had a lot to go through in that final, didn't we? A lot. So look, if I've picked you to win, prove me right. And for the last time this season, if I've picked you to lose, prove me wrong. And I'll do a wrap-up video next week. We'll see what happens. Let the chips fall where they may. Good luck.